We're talking about our online elite level of running assessment and physiotherapy. And Paddy, what I thought we'd do is take the individual through, what does this actually look like when you see us online?
Yeah, so we do a lot of running physio, and we've worked with hundreds of runners all over the world. And basically how it works is you just jump on the website, click on the online physio link, and you book an appointment time with us. So that'll bring us face to face via our computers. And what we do then is we get to know you as a runner. And the first thing we want to know is, are you injured or are you uninjured and just looking to increase your performance? And there's massive value in online physio for both of those.
Absolutely.
So if you're injured, sure we want to get a really accurate diagnosis of what the injury is, how it's there and why it's there in the first place. And that's why we look at your biomechanics, how strong you are, how stiff you are, what your strength training is like, what your running is like, what your technique's like, who's your coach, what shoes are you in, how good's your sleep, how stressed are you. There's so many factors that we need to understand in the whole runner's ecosystem. So initially we'll get to know you, we'll try and understand all of that. And then once we get a good picture of you as the runner, then we want to try and kind of uncover like what are the bits that we can improve on. Do we think it might be a training error? Do we think it might be a lack of strength? Do we think it might be you're stiff, or we might need to look at your running technique? So there are so many factors that we look at as to what can contribute to you getting in pain in the first place, and then we can pretty clearly like map out the roads to getting you out of pain.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting point, isn't it? That like we haven't spoken about rubbing your calf or touching you just yet, because we know that running related injuries are always related to training errors and load. And how we fix them is treating you as an individual. Exactly like Paddy said, there are so many things that feed into a running injury. It's more than just how you run, and it's more than getting a rub on your calf. So what we can do online is manage that so well, where you get access to a running physiotherapist, someone who treats runners every single day in, day out, and has this vast experience with treating a multitude of different running related injuries. So that would be the key. And I think the other thing is we want to look at taking you from pain to performance and supporting you along that whole journey. So it's not just about looking at just getting you over injury. It's coming together, us and you, and looking, what are your goals? Like, is that to run your first 5K? Is it to get back after an injury? Or is it to run your first ultra marathon? You might have just had a baby and you're looking to get back into running. All of those things we want to do with you and formulate these goals so that we are working together for looking at your whole ecosystem and getting you to that point where you can run sustainably, and I think that's the key.
And the other thing is we'll actually look at your running technique as well, and we can assess that. What we do is we'll send you like further instructions on how to do it, but you get yourself, film yourself running, send it through, and we'll then go through that together and actually analyze your technique, work out, are there ways that we can make your technique nicer and lighter and more efficient? Or are there things in your technique that's actually contributed to your injury? And then we can see how does your footwear interact with your technique, and get a really true deep picture of you as well.
Yeah, so number one would be, coming together and getting a clear diagnosis of what's going on, looking at your whole ecosystem like Paddy touched on, coming together and formulating some goals that we can work towards. And then the only thing we didn't touch on is you'll get access to our app as well, and our running fundamentals, which is a series of strength and conditioning and mobility exercises that we've developed for you, the runner, and specific to increase performance and decrease that risk of injury. And you'll always be supported along your journey. So, we've helped runners from all over the world, really. New York, I think you had, Singapore. We've had runners from all over, and it's working really, really well to access our elite level and style of physiotherapy that keeps you in the game, keeps you moving, and keeps you performing at your best.
Yeah, how good's running?